Welcome to your practice test video. Go ahead and watch the video to get your secret word for bonus money. Okay, let's do this practice test. Directions say write each mixed number as an improper fraction. Show your work. So we have a mixed up dad, and we are going to turn him mad into an improper fraction. So we're going to start with step M, multiply. We know 2 times 4 equals 8. Then we add on to get the numerator. 8 plus 1 equals 9, so my numerator is 9. And then D, denominator stays the same. Denominator is 2. So I get an improper fraction of 9 over 2. Number 2, first step is to multiply. 3 times 5 equals 15. Add on to get the numerator. 15 plus 2 equals 17. My numerator is 17, my denominator is 3. To get an improper fraction, 17 thirds, or 17 over 3. Number 3, 9 3/4. First, I'm going to multiply. 4 times 9 equals 1 less, 36. Then I'm going to add. 36 plus 3 equals 39. My numerator equals 39. My denominator stays the same. It's 4 to get 39/4, or 39 over 4. All right, let's do the opposite now. These directions say to write each improper fraction as a mixed number. So this time we're taking our mad improper fraction and turning it into a dad who's very confused, and we're going to give him a baby. So the first step is to determine 9 times what gets me close to 22 without going over. I know 9 times 2 equals 18, so 2 is going to be my whole. And then I have to do 18 plus something to get me to my numerator of 22. I know 18 plus 4 equals 22, so I can put a 4 in the numerator. And D, the denominator stays the same, 2 4/9. All right, 17 over 3. I need to ask myself, I'm going to determine 3 times what gets me close to 17 without going over. 3 times 5 equals 15, so 5 will be my whole. Then I'm going to add 5 plus something equals my numerator of 17. 5 plus 2 equals 17, so that's my numerator. And my denominator stays the same to get the mixed number 5 2/3. Number 6, 7 over 2. I'm going to determine 2 times what gets me close to 7 without going over. I know 2 times 3 equals 6, so 3 is going to be my whole. And then I'm going to add on to get the numerator. 6 plus something equals 7. 6 plus 1 equals 7. So 1's my numerator. My denominator stays the same, 2. To get the mixed number 3 1/2. For the next set of problems, my directions are to add or subtract each mixed number. Show your work. So pay attention to your operation, your signs, and make sure you're paying attention to whether you need to regroup or not. So this one, number 7, 5 3/4 plus 3 1/4. I'm adding, so my denominators have to be the same. 4 and 4 are. I'm going to start with the fractions. 3/4 plus 1/4 equals 4/4. So right away you should notice 4 over 4 is 1 whole. Then we can add on the wholes, so 5 plus 3 equals 8, and I get 8 4/4. Now I don't want to leave this like that because that's a whole. So I'm going to subtract. I can determine 4 times what gets me close to 4. And I know 4 times 1 equals 4. So if I subtract 4 over 4 from the fraction, I can add 4 over 4 to the whole. So 8 plus 1 whole equals 9. 4/4 minus 4/4 equals 0/4. So my answer is 9 0/4, or you could just write 9, because if there's 0/4, there's nothing there. So I'm going to write 9 in my box. Number 8, 4 4/8 plus 6 2/8. I'm adding, so my denominators have to be the same, and they are. So I'm going to add the fractions first. 4/8 plus 2/8 equals 6/8. 4 plus 6 when I add the wholes equals 10. So I get 10 and 6/8. I have a mixed number. I do not have an improper fraction, so I know I'm good to keep that as my answer. 10 and 6/8. We are on the back, number 9. 9 and 5/11 minus 7 and 6/11. So our first subtraction one. First, I'm going to subtract the fractions. 5/11 minus 6/11. 5/11 is smaller, so I can't subtract. So I'm going to have to take a whole away from my whole of 9. And I'm going to take away the whole 11 over 11 because 11 is my denominator. And add that whole to the fraction, so plus 11 over 11. So 9 minus 1 whole equals 8. 5/11 plus 11/11 equals 16/11. Then I subtract, this stays the same, minus 7 and 6/11. Now I can subtract the fractions. 16 minus 6 equals 10, and my denominator is 11, so 10/11. 8 minus 7 equals 1, so I get an answer of 1 and 10/11. Number 10, subtracting again. 9 and 2/3 minus 1 and 1/3. I know the denominators have to be the same. They are. 2/3 minus 1/3, ooh, 2 is bigger, so I can just subtract and get 1/3. 9 minus 1 equals 8, and I get an answer of 8 and 1/3. Your secret word is kangaroo. Kangaroo. Go ahead and write that there to get your bonus money. Number 11, we are back to adding. 8 and 2/11 plus 7 and 10/11. First, add the fractions. 2/11 plus 10/11 equals 12/11. So I'm noticing right away 12 is bigger than 11. So I have more than a whole in my numerator. This is an improper fraction. I can't leave it like that. Then I'm going to add the wholes. 8 plus 7 equals 15. Now that I have my mixed number with its improper fraction, I have a mad dad, and I can't leave him mad. So I'm going to have to take a whole from the fraction. So I'm going to determine 11 times what gets me close to 12 without going over. That's just 11 times 1. I have one whole in my fraction. So I'm going to subtract one whole from the fraction and add one whole to my whole of 15. When I do that, 15 plus one whole equals 16. 12/11 minus 11/11 equals 1/11. And my answer is 16 and 1/11. Number 12, 7 and 7/11 minus 2 and 8/11. Start by subtracting the fractions. 7/11 minus 8/11. 7 is smaller, so I can't do that. So I'm going to need to take a whole away from the 7. I'll take away a whole of 11 over 11, because that's my denominator, and add the whole to the fraction, 11 over 11. Then I'm going to rewrite 7 minus 1 whole equals 6. And 7/11 plus 11/11 equals 18/11. This part stays the same. I'm subtracting 2 and 8/11. Now I can subtract the fractions. 18/11 minus 8/11 equals 10/11. And 6 minus 2 equals 4. Oops, I accidentally wrote 10/10. It should be 10/11. Remember, your denominator doesn't change, 11, 11, 11. So my answer is 4 and 10/11. Your bonus is to write the name of what a baby kangaroo is called. And a baby kangaroo is called a joey, Joey, with a little j because it's not its name like Joey in my homeroom, but it's the name of a baby kangaroo's, what they call it, like a kid. We call you a kid. Kangaroo calls it a joey. Write it down to get an extra bonus. Number 13, 2 and 5/12 plus 8 and 4/12. I'm adding. Denominators are the same. Start by adding the fractions. 5/12 plus 4/12 equals 9/12. Normal fraction, I'm good with that. 2 plus 8, my wholes, equals 10, to get an answer of 10 and 9/12. Since 9/12 is a regular fraction, it's not improper, there's not more than a whole in the numerator, I don't have to change anything. All right, number 14, 8 and 2/4 minus 1 and 1/4. First, subtract the fractions. 2/4 minus 1/4. 2 is bigger. 2 minus 1 equals 1. My denominator stays the same, 4. 8 minus 1, when you subtract your wholes, you get 7 to get an answer of 7 and 1/4. I know you are going to get a star on your test tomorrow because I am sending you all of this stardust. Good luck!